So it's Sarah here, a professional career/job search coach and resume writer. I'm still in Krabi, and I just finished a Muay Thai class, and I'd say this was like I've been to other gyms before, of course, maybe like 3 or 4 taking classes there, but I feel like this is the first gym that I've gone to that I felt like, was was really dedicated to it. It's been really long. It's been long established, and there are a lot of competitors here because it's right next to the fighting ring, actually. So you can see here. Right. So I just finished a class. It was really good. And I'm currently waiting for a grab. It's taking kind of a long time because it's up, in a more secluded area. But I thought I would take some time to talk about resumes because I realized I haven't talked about that just yet. And it's actually where I started my, how I started my career in, job search coaching, I guess. So I think, think about the class today, right? Especially if you're a beginner, you don't need to worry about anything, super fancy or, focus on really high level techniques, but you just need to master the basics, right? How to do a good jab, a good cross, a good kick, right? And really for the resume, it's about the same thing. I think a lot of people think that you need to have a flashy resume, you need to have like a nice picture, you need to have, like a really nice design, lots of colors, tables and columns and things like that. But really, it's just not necessary. Honestly, of course, a recruiter might say, oh, you should look like this, or maybe it'd be nice if it had this, right? But, I really just want to focus on the basics, right? Really, it needs to be, one, easy to read, both by the recruiter and by the applicant tracking system, right? So that means no tables, no columns, you probably don't want to have like too many colors on it. It's just really not necessary. And then 2, you need to make sure, all the information they need is there. So, for example, is your contact information very easy to find? Is your work history, is all of your relevant work history there? Is it explained in an easy to read way? Are any other sort of, skills, software or otherwise listed on there too? Right. And I'd say, 3 is your, does your resume read like a, like a job description or like a list of accomplishments? Because oftentimes, when I'm reviewing someone's resume, the number one thing I see is that it's, the job descriptions that they have or the bullets are super vague, right? It's, like if they're a cashier, they'll say something like, oh, I did customer service and I took cash. I manned the cash register or something like that, right? You really want to break down what exactly you did. So, you manned the cash register. What does that entail? Were you in charge of the money at the time for your shift? Were you in charge of counting the cash? Did you make sure things were accurate? Oftentimes you have to do a little bit of customer service too, right? And in that case, if you did do that, how many customers did you talk to, right? And maybe you had like a really long shift. It's kind of a lot, right? You're like, oh, Sarah worked 8 hours. There's a lot of people. I really don't know. Just break it down, right? Break it down. So you think of, maybe how many customers would you attend to in an hour at least? So maybe it's like 5 at least. That's like a safe bet. You're like, okay. Every 10, 20 minutes I have one customer. So maybe you say 5, right? 5 multiplied by those 8 hours, right? That's it's 40, right? So you could say, attended to 40 customers daily, right? And counted cash amounting to X value, right? Ensuring 100% accuracy by the end of the shift, for example, right? So again, in terms of a good bullet structure, you want to start with a strong action verb. Okay, talk about the scope of your work and try to be specific, right, with what you did, and give numbers where you can. This will stand out in the sea of words, and then try to end with some kind of result, right? This will help show how well you did something, not just what you did. Okay, so I'd say those are, maybe the top things. that I can think of right now. Maybe I'll think of some more because I'm a bit tired. It's been kind of a hard class. But yeah, so, keep it simple, right? Nothing fancy. Make sure you have the contact information on there. Have everything, contact information, relevant and recent work history. Have things be very easy to read, easy to find for both the software and the human, the recruiter. And then, make sure you really talk through what you did, right? And show how well you did it. So again, quantifying the scope of your work and your impact. So yeah, if you have any, thoughts or questions, please feel free to, reach out or, drop in the comment. I'll try to answer any questions that I can. And yeah, I hope this was helpful. So hopefully I'll have a grab here soon enough, and I'll be on my way back to the town. So I hope you guys have a good rest of your day, and I'll talk to you another time.